If you've ever felt that burning sensation rising from your stomach to your chest after a meal, you're not alone. Millions of people deal with heartburn, acid reflux, and indigestion on a daily basis, and for many, it's more than just an occasional annoyance. It disrupts sleep, ruins meals, and chips away at your quality of life. The worst part? Most people have no idea what's actually causing it, and so they turn to the usual suspects. Over-the-counter antacids, little chewable tablets, acid blockers, and pills that promise fast relief. They might work for a moment, but the problem always comes back, sometimes worse than before. Let's get one thing clear: the burning, the tightness in your chest, the sour taste in your mouth, the coughing at night. These are not just random symptoms. They're your body's way of signaling that something deeper is wrong. And contrary to what you've been told for years, the issue is not simply too much stomach acid. In fact, in many cases, the problem is the opposite. Most people, especially as they age, begin to produce less stomach acid, not more. That may sound counterintuitive, but it's a key part of this puzzle. When you don't have enough stomach acid, food sits in your stomach longer than it should. It starts to ferment. It creates pressure. That pressure builds and pushes contents upward, even if the acid levels are low. And this is where a small but powerful muscle called the lower esophageal sphincter comes into play. Think of it like a valve that opens to let food in and closes to keep it there. But as we get older, or after years of poor dietary habits, that valve weakens. When it doesn't close properly, the contents of your stomach, even if they're only mildly acidic, can leak upward into the esophagus. That's when the burning starts. Now imagine doing everything right on the surface. You cut out fried foods, you limit spicy dishes, you eat earlier in the evening, but you still suffer. That's because you're only addressing the triggers, not the root. And if you're constantly reaching for antacids to fix it, you may actually be making the problem worse. These medications suppress acid even further, which only delays digestion and invites more pressure to build up. It's a vicious cycle, and for many people it starts to feel hopeless. But what if the solution wasn't in a bottle? What if certain foods, specific, natural, easy-to-find foods, could not only calm your symptoms, but help correct the underlying imbalance? This isn't just speculation. More and more studies are revealing that certain nutrient-rich foods support the proper function of the digestive tract, strengthen the esophageal sphincter, and even reduce inflammation in the stomach lining. And they do it without the side effects, without the dependency, and without disrupting your body's natural rhythms. To understand why these foods are so effective, you need to understand how your digestive system was designed to work in the first place. Your stomach isn't a chaotic pool of acid. It's a finely tuned environment where enzymes, acids, and bacteria work in harmony to break down food and absorb nutrients. But that balance is delicate. A single factor, stress, age, certain medications, or poor diet, can throw the whole system off. When that happens, it's not just reflux that shows up. You might also notice bloating, gas, fatigue after meals, or even nutrient deficiencies. Everything is connected. And here's a surprising fact. Your gut is lined with millions of nerve endings that talk directly to your brain. That means when your digestion is out of balance, it affects more than just your stomach. It impacts your mood, your sleep, your concentration, and your immune system. So when we talk about fixing acid reflux, we're not just talking about eliminating discomfort. We're talking about restoring a fundamental balance that affects your entire body. Let's take a moment to consider something else. Do you remember a time when you could eat without fear? When a simple plate of pasta didn't come with regret? Or when lying down after dinner didn't mean preparing for a night of pain? Many people assume this is just part of aging, that this discomfort is normal. But it's not. It's common. But that doesn't make it normal. And it's certainly not irreversible. By focusing on what your body needs, not just eliminating what hurts, you can rebuild that balance. The key is to shift from reaction to prevention, from suppression to support. And this starts with small changes, not radical diets, not pills, but real foods that nourish, protect, and heal. There's a reason why cultures around the world have turned to specific foods for digestive health for centuries. Before modern medicine, people knew that what you eat either supports or sabotages your gut. And those traditional foods often worked better than anything you'll find in a pharmacy today. Now, we're going to explore exactly what those foods are. But before we do, pause for a second and recognize this. If you're struggling with reflux, your body isn't broken. It's asking for help. The discomfort, the burning, the tightness. It's not your enemy. It's a signal. And when you learn how to listen to it, you'll finally understand what your body's been trying to tell you all along. If this video helped you understand your symptoms better, or gave you a new idea to try at home, let us know in the comments. Your experience might help someone else too. And if you want more tips like this delivered with care and clarity, don't forget to subscribe and join our growing health community. There is a fruit that has been quietly sitting in grocery stores for decades. It is not flashy. It does not come with trendy marketing or a superfood label. But for people struggling with heartburn and reflux, it may be one of the most powerful allies your digestive system could ask for. This fruit is the papaya. And while it might remind some of tropical vacations or hotel breakfast buffets, its benefits go far beyond taste or nostalgia. When eaten regularly and at the right time, papaya can offer natural relief that rivals many medications, and in some cases, works better. At the heart of papaya's healing power is an enzyme called papain. This enzyme plays a critical role in breaking down proteins, especially in meals rich in meat, dairy, or legumes. When your stomach struggles to digest these foods, they linger longer than they should. That lingering leads to fermentation, which produces gas, bloating, and pressure, all of which contribute to reflux. Papain steps in like a helper, speeding up the digestive process, lightening the load on your stomach, and helping food move through your system more efficiently. The result is less acid buildup, less pressure, and far fewer chances of that painful backward surge. But that is just the beginning. Papaya also has a naturally soothing effect on the digestive tract. Its soft texture and gentle sweetness make it ideal for irritated stomachs. It is rich in vitamin C, folate, and beta-carotene, all of which help reduce inflammation and support the repair of damaged tissue in the esophagus and stomach lining. People who suffer from chronic acid reflux often experience tiny tears and irritation in the esophagus that can take a long time to heal. Eating foods like papaya gives your body the nutrients it needs to repair those areas safely and naturally. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Unlike many acidic fruits such as oranges, pineapples, or strawberries that can actually worsen reflux symptoms, papaya is low in acidity. It is considered a low-acid fruit, which means it is far less likely to irritate the lining of the stomach or esophagus. For that reason, it is often one of the first fruits recommended by naturopathic doctors and holistic nutritionists to clients dealing with digestive problems. Its high water content also helps to dilute any lingering acid and cleanse the digestive tract after a heavy meal. A practical example of how papaya works can be found in cultures that have used it medicinally for centuries. In many regions of South and Central America, people traditionally end their meals with a few slices of fresh papaya. This is not just for flavor or habit. It is a form of digestive support. And it is not uncommon to see local healers using papaya seeds ground into powder to treat stomach infections and imbalances in gut bacteria. The entire fruit is a therapeutic tool, from flesh to seeds, packed with properties that your gut instinctively recognizes and welcomes. Now you might be wondering how to incorporate papaya into your own routine. The best time to eat papaya is in the morning on an empty stomach. This allows the papain enzyme to activate fully and begin its work before any heavier foods enter your system. A small bowl of ripe papaya, not underripe and not overripe, can be paired with a sprinkle of cinnamon or ground flaxseed to enhance its anti-inflammatory effects. You can also add a splash of fresh lemon juice if tolerated, which helps stimulate gentle stomach acid production in cases where it is too low. If mornings are not an option, papaya can also be eaten as a post-meal soother. About 30 to 60 minutes after lunch or dinner, a few slices of papaya can help calm your stomach, reduce bloating, and prevent the acid pressure that often leads to nighttime reflux. For some, it becomes a favorite nightly ritual, a simple dessert that supports digestion rather than sabotaging it. And unlike sugary or processed snacks, papaya will not feed harmful gut bacteria or throw off your microbiome. Many people are surprised to learn that papaya is also a prebiotic food. That means it helps feed the good bacteria in your gut, creating a healthier digestive environment over time. When your microbiome is balanced, your body digests food more efficiently and produces fewer gases that can lead to acid reflux. It is a long-term benefit, not just a quick fix. And that is the kind of transformation that creates lasting change. Another overlooked benefit of papaya is its role in calming the nervous system. Because of its magnesium and folate content, papaya supports the production of neurotransmitters that help reduce anxiety and muscle tension, including in the digestive tract. There is a strong connection between stress and reflux. When you are anxious or tense, your body enters a fight-or-flight state. This slows digestion, increases acid production, and weakens the lower esophageal sphincter. By calming the nervous system, papaya contributes to a more relaxed and efficient digestive process overall. Let us not forget the importance of choosing the right type of papaya. Look for fruits that are slightly soft to the touch, with a sweet aroma. Avoid those that are too firm or have dark bruises, as they may not be ripe enough to provide the full benefit. If you live in a region where fresh papaya is not always available, consider frozen papaya chunks, or even papaya puree with no added sugar. These can be just as effective when used properly. Some people may also benefit from combining papaya with other gentle foods, such as oatmeal or plain yogurt, to create a gut-healing breakfast. Just be cautious with the yogurt. Choose one that is low in sugar and free of artificial additives. A small portion of unsweetened Greek yogurt with papaya and chia seeds can be a soothing, nourishing way to start the day, supporting both digestion and energy levels. When you begin to experience the effects of adding papaya into your diet, less bloating, smoother digestion, fewer nighttime flare-ups, it becomes clear that food is not just fuel, it is medicine. And sometimes, the answers we are searching for are not hidden in expensive treatments or new breakthroughs. They are growing quietly on trees, waiting to be noticed again. We'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these remedies before? Or do you have your own go-to foods for reflux relief? Share it in the comments below. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a moment of practical healing. When we think about healing the digestive system, it is easy to focus only on what needs to be avoided. But true, lasting relief comes when we nourish the body with the right building blocks. After exploring the soothing power of papaya, it is time to look at two other foods that not only calm the symptoms of reflux, but actively support the repair of the digestive system from the inside out. These two ingredients may seem simple, even ordinary, but their impact is anything but. When used consistently and thoughtfully, they become a quiet force that transforms your digestive health with each passing day. The first is oatmeal. You have probably heard that oatmeal is good for your heart, that it lowers cholesterol and helps regulate blood sugar. But what many people do not know is that oatmeal is also one of the most gut-friendly foods available. Its soft, thick texture acts as a gentle cushion for the walls of the stomach and esophagus, especially when reflux has already caused inflammation or irritation. It is like a natural protective layer, giving the tissue time to recover while preventing further damage from rising stomach acids. One of oatmeal's greatest strengths is its content of soluble fiber, particularly beta-glucan. This type of fiber absorbs water and becomes gel-like in the digestive tract. It slows down digestion just enough to allow nutrients to be absorbed more completely, without triggering the pressure that leads to reflux. It also helps regulate bowel movements and prevent constipation, which is often an overlooked contributor to acid buildup. When the bowels are sluggish, pressure increases in the abdomen, pushing upward against the stomach and making reflux worse. Oatmeal quietly addresses this chain reaction before it even starts. There is something comforting about a warm bowl of oatmeal in the morning. It is easy to digest, filling without being heavy, and highly customizable. You can prepare it with water or a plant-based milk like almond or oat milk for a lighter option. Adding a pinch of cinnamon enhances its digestive properties and helps regulate blood sugar levels, which in turn supports a calmer, more balanced metabolism. You can even mix in sliced papaya for a double-benefit breakfast that sets the tone for your entire day. But the real power comes when oatmeal is paired with ginger. Fresh ginger root is one of the oldest and most respected remedies for digestive health in the world. Its use dates back thousands of years in Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine, where it was used not only to relieve nausea and indigestion, but to stimulate the body's natural healing response. Today, modern science has confirmed what ancient wisdom already knew. Ginger contains compounds called gingerols and shogaols that have potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. These compounds help calm the digestive tract, reduce swelling in the esophagus, and promote faster gastric emptying, which is a fancy way of saying it helps your stomach process food more efficiently, with less chance of anything coming back up. What makes ginger so special is that it works on multiple levels at once. It soothes the nerves that trigger nausea, relaxes the muscles of the gastrointestinal tract, and stimulates the production of protective mucus in the stomach lining. This mucus acts as a natural buffer between your stomach and its own acid, preventing irritation and supporting the healing of ulcers or minor injuries caused by acid exposure. In people who suffer from reflux, this protective layer is often thin or damaged, leaving the tissue vulnerable. Ginger helps rebuild that shield naturally, without suppressing the body's own functions. There are many simple ways to include ginger in your daily routine. You can slice it thin and steep it in hot water for a soothing tea after meals. You can grate it into soups, stews, or vegetable broths. You can blend it into smoothies or mix it with warm honey and lemon if tolerated. Some people even chew a small piece of raw ginger after eating to stimulate digestion and reduce symptoms quickly. The key is consistency. Like any natural remedy, ginger works best when it becomes a habit, a trusted tool in your daily routine. One of the most powerful ways to combine these two foods is in the form of a calming evening bowl. Imagine a small bowl of oatmeal, made with unsweetened almond milk, lightly seasoned with cinnamon, and topped with grated ginger and a drizzle of raw honey. It is warm, gentle, satisfying, and deeply healing. This combination not only supports digestion, but also prepares your body for restful sleep, a crucial part of the recovery process. When you sleep, your body heals. And when your stomach is calm and settled, you wake up refreshed instead of exhausted from a night of discomfort. There is a quiet wisdom in choosing foods that work with your body instead of against it. Oatmeal and ginger do not promise overnight miracles. What they offer is stability, protection, and gentle repair. They work silently, meal after meal, reducing inflammation, supporting natural function, and helping the body return to its optimal rhythm. Over time, many people find that their dependence on medications decreases. Their symptoms become less frequent, less intense, and easier to manage. And perhaps most importantly, they begin to rebuild a sense of trust in their own body again. Small changes create big results when they are rooted in consistency and care. A breakfast that nourishes, a tea that soothes, a choice to listen rather than suppress. These are not just habits. They are signals to your body that healing is possible, that balance is not out of reach, and that you are capable of more than just managing symptoms. You are capable of transforming them. What part of today's video resonated with you the most? Was there something new you learned, or something you plan to change? Tell us in the comments. Your voice matters here. And make sure to subscribe so you're always one step closer to better health. Naturally, many people try everything they can to relieve heartburn and reflux. They add the right foods. They drink more water. They try to sleep at an incline. And yet, the burning comes back. Why does this happen? Often, it's not because of what you're doing right. It's because of what's still going wrong in the background. And the truth is, some of the worst offenders are foods you might believe are healthy, foods that seem innocent on the surface, foods recommended by others as nutritious. But for someone dealing with reflux, they can quietly sabotage everything you've been working to fix. Let's start with one of the biggest surprises: citrus juice. A glass of fresh orange juice in the morning sounds like a healthy start to the day. It's packed with vitamin C, right? But for someone with acid reflux, that simple glass can set off a chain reaction of discomfort that lasts for hours. Citrus fruits, like oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and limes, are highly acidic. When consumed on an empty stomach, they can irritate the lining of the esophagus and increase the acidity in your system, triggering that familiar burning sensation. The same goes for pineapple juice and even tomato juice, which many people don't realize are also very acidic. Then there's raw tomato. This one can be tricky because tomatoes are often found in foods we consider healthy: salads, wraps, and homemade sauces. But tomatoes contain both citric acid and malic acid, two compounds that can cause the lower esophageal sphincter to relax. That means the valve between your stomach and esophagus becomes loose, making it easier for acid to travel upward. Even a slice or two of raw tomato in a sandwich can be enough to cause symptoms in someone with a sensitive digestive system. And when combined with vinegar-based dressings or onions, the effects can be amplified. Now let's talk about yogurt. Not just any yogurt, the kind marketed as low-fat or flavored, with added fruits or artificial sweeteners. These products are often positioned as healthy snacks or probiotic-rich options. But flavored yogurts usually contain citric acid as a preservative, which increases their acidity. They're also loaded with sugars or sugar substitutes like aspartame and sucralose, which disrupt gut bacteria and increase fermentation in the stomach. This fermentation can lead to gas, bloating, and pressure that worsens reflux. Even fruit on the bottom yogurts can be problematic, especially when the fruits used are acidic, like strawberries, blueberries, or raspberries. It's important to remember that digestion is not just about the foods we eat. It's about how our body reacts to those foods, especially when it's in a state of healing. For people with reflux, the digestive system is often inflamed, oversensitive, and struggling to return to balance. In this state, even small triggers can feel enormous. That's why avoiding these so-called healthy foods during recovery is not about restriction. It's about protection, giving your body the space it needs to repair itself fully and completely. The good news is, there are plenty of nourishing alternatives. Instead of citrus juices in the morning, try room temperature water with a few slices of cucumber or a gentle herbal tea like chamomile. Instead of tomato-based sauces, use pureed vegetables like carrots or zucchini with olive oil and basil. And instead of flavored yogurts, go for plain unsweetened Greek yogurt in small amounts, ideally combined with gut-friendly ingredients like papaya or flaxseed. Timing also plays a role. Eating these triggering foods late at night, when digestion naturally slows down, makes symptoms worse. That's why it's crucial to finish dinner at least 3 hours before lying down. Give your body time to process the meal, settle the acids, and shift into a calmer rhythm before you sleep. Another powerful yet overlooked factor is food combining. Certain combinations can either support digestion or overwhelm it. For example, mixing protein and starchy carbohydrates in large quantities, like meat and potatoes or chicken and rice, can slow down digestion and increase fermentation. This can lead to more gas and pressure in the stomach. Instead, aim for simpler meals with fewer components. A small portion of lean protein with steamed vegetables and a drizzle of healthy fat can be far easier to process than a complicated or heavy plate. Stress, posture, and hydration all influence how your body handles food. When you're tense, slouched, or dehydrated, digestion slows, muscles tighten, acids pool where they shouldn't. So the next time you sit down to eat, take a deep breath, sit upright, chew slowly, drink water throughout the day instead of with your meals. These small changes may not seem revolutionary, but when practiced consistently, they allow the foods you're choosing to do their job, to heal, to calm, to protect. What you avoid is just as powerful as what you include, and that awareness gives you control. You no longer have to feel like a victim of your symptoms. You don't have to live in fear of every bite or rely on pills that only mute the message your body is sending. You can eat in a way that brings comfort instead of pain. You can rebuild a relationship with food that feels safe, grounded, and free. By now, you've learned that true healing from reflux is not just about temporary relief. It's about listening to your body, learning its language, and honoring its needs with real, supportive choices. You've discovered the foods that soothe, the combinations that repair, and the habits that support a more peaceful digestive system. But this is just the beginning. There's so much more your body can do when given the chance. Thank you for spending this time here and taking this important step for your health. Your journey matters, your healing matters, and your story is still being written. If you found this helpful, the next video on your screen will guide you even deeper into this journey. It's waiting for you now, with more answers, more support, and more tools to help you feel your best every single day.